back to Safer at Home Stories. Today I'm talking with Monica Valentine, the host and producer of Entertaining LA, which is not just a television program, but you have a large web presence. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about what you work on?
Yes, the show is called Entertaining LA, where we review events, concerts, festivities across Southern California. Recently, we have gone into the whole COVID-19 epidemic. So I switched gears and I pretty much have been doing news updates for people, what's going on in California during the epidemic, because I tend to have people who live outside California as well as outside of the country itself. They either used to live here, vacation here, or because of the epidemic, they have to head back home to their own home countries. You've
always been really good about covering an array of events around the LA, greater LA area.
All right, thank you.
But you pivoted really quickly to giving really great, informative, short videos that are engaging to people. So
yeah,
congratulations on that. And I love seeing the adaptability of you. And where do you get that skill from? That kind of eye for what the people need to hear in the moment?
Well, basically, when it comes to people, it is about attention span, because people tend to have a short attention span. They want to know what is enjoyable to watch, but also more informational for them because, like I said, the epidemic, people are trying their best to survive the epidemic. And I have been researching on news briefs, on the internet, as well as TV, on what's going on here in California, as well as outside of California. What to do, how to pretty much apply for financial aid. There's different ones. The one that just came out today from Gavinson is that he is going to help out some of the undocumented workers. And yesterday and last week, he said he's going to help out people in the industry as well, which is a huge relief because I'm in the industry and there's a lot of people that I know and I work with in the industry that is going through a huge, hard problems with their financial difficulties. And there's also renters that they are in a pretty much of a scuff because they're a little bit confused about, is this going to... the rent, is it going to go away or is it just a temporary thing? And basically it is a temporary thing. So with the rent relief, people can get a relief for 1 year only. It's not going to go away. It's just 1 year only. So people are trying to make it go away.
And it's great you're keeping people updated on kind of the financial matters of life because you turn on the news or other media and so much we're hearing is about how to stay safe, wear gloves, wear a mask, that sort of thing.
Yes.
And that's all very important. But for many people, if they can't make rent 1 month, that means they're sleeping in their car or out on the street. And they're not going to be able to protect themselves against a pandemic so much if they're out on the street. So,
yes.
So it's great that you're making these informative videos to connect people to the resources that are out there so they can advocate for themselves. Can we take a look at one of your videos right now?
I'm Monica Valentine for Entertaining LA, giving you an update of what's going on in Southern California, as well as surrounding areas through the coronavirus epidemic. On March 27, 2020, President Donald Trump has signed the stimulus bill that will enact people to get $1,200 based upon their income, and it will be mailed to people in the next coming weeks. Now, there has been people, I'm talking about scammers, that has been texting, emailing, as well as approaching people at the doorstep. Now, there has been alert from the FBI and the IRS that they will do not do these things that I just mentioned when it comes to the stimulus check. It will be mailed to you, and for those of you that has been doing the taxes, I'm talking about the 2018 and 2019 taxes, you will receive a direct deposit. And it will be coming in the next few weeks. Now, I did mention that the stimulus package, people will be getting $1,200 if they're single, $2,400 if they're couple, and $500 if they will if they have a child. Now, they'll be getting $500 per child. And I'm going to say it again, it will be available in the next few weeks. And each individual or couple, based upon their income, it will be decreased if you have exceeded over $75,000. And if you went past $99,000, you will not be receiving any stimulus package. So for more information, you can check out the stimulus packages on their local website. Well, first people were told that the social distancing guidelines will be until April 12th, 2020, but not anymore. President Trump extended the deadline to April 30th, 2020. According to CNN.com, Trump announced to change it on Sunday, March 29, 2020. He decided to extend the guidelines, which include suggested limits on large gatherings. Now, there has been closures that's been going on in Southern California. Let me tell you about the beaches and the hiking trails. They have been shut down. Government officials closed it due to people not practicing social distancing, which is the 6 feet rule. The reason why they closed it is because they are afraid that people will pass along the virus. So there is no word yet of when the beaches and the hiking trails will be open. Non-essential businesses, there has been a few been popping up behind the government's back. Now, the Mayor Garcetti, he had issued a statement that any non-essential businesses open, he will shut down the electricity and the water, and you will be cited. So, for those of you who has businesses, be on the lookout that you might get your lights off, water off, and a citation. You might get either shut down. Not quite sure, but just be aware about that. And there has been more closures. The Pasadena Loop on the Rose Bowl, which is a historic landmark, as well as a favorite hiking spot, walking spot, as well as people riding their bikes. It has been shut down this past weekend because people have not been practicing the social distancing. They're not listening. So that's the reason why it's been shut down. So if you want more information on what is still open, you can check out the description down below. I will be putting a link of where there are possible places that you can still hike as well as jog and walk around. Now, speaking of farmers markets, they have been shut down, but April 1st, 2020, there has been word from the government officials that they can reopen. Now, they want to make sure that people practice the social distancing policy, 6 feet apart. So for those of you that's going to be going out to the farmers markets, make sure that you stay 6 feet away from people.
I love those videos. They are short and concise, but so informative. In a pandemic like this, there's almost like a heightened humanism where it could bring out the best in some people and the worst in others.
Yes.
So thank you for trying to protect people from people who might be predatory and have ill will out there. Speaking more about your show, Entertaining LA, it's more than just a show. I've seen you all over social media, but you also have a website. We're going to link your website right here. But you kind of think of media holistically, and you're kind of that sort of 21st century videographer, journalist personality.
Yeah. Well, I started early on in high school. My mom took me to a Kaler TV station back when they had the ROP program. And I used to go there, and I enjoyed myself very much, but I kind of gotten away from it because, you know, you were young, you want to go hang out with your friends. And when I got back to college, I did an internship there at Kaler TV station. And I thought, you know what, why don't I just go full-fledged? And during that time, social media was starting to become the thing. And that was back in 2000. Well, YouTube came out around mid-2000s. Facebook joined in later on, and it was starting then. So I thought, you know what, why don't you jump on board? You like the videotape. You like to go to different places. Why not do it? I was nervous at first, but it took time for me to, you know, be comfortable in front of the camera because I am a shy person. And it just took time for me to, you know, introduce myself and show people different parts of Southern California. And then I started going outside Southern California. I went to Vegas, and I was going to go further out, but during this epidemic, I have to wait probably till next year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's great though. And yeah, your show Entertaining LA, I get jealous sometimes. You're at every
Oh,
huge public event. You're all over these cool places. So I'm like, oh,
thank
hey,
you.
I wish I was more active and out and about like Monica is. But now that you've been home for a month now, safer at home, are you getting
Yes.
stir crazy? How does it feel to
Um,
not be hitting up all these great public events?
yeah. I was kind of bummed, but I said, you know what? It's working because I have been listening to the governor. He said it is working, which I'm glad that it is because earlier people were not following guidelines, and that's the reason why there's this huge spike in the death toll. So people and us, we decided to just stay our ground. We just do walks around the neighborhood, and sometimes we drive to around town, basically local, because we just don't know what is the restrictions in other cities. I'm living in LA, but there's other restrictions because, like you just mentioned, the mask. Certain cities, especially Riverside County, they said you have to wear the mask all times. And certain cities, you can wear the mask whether you're going out grocery shopping, when you're going to the park, and when you're around people. But it's just that we're trying to stay safe.
That energy you applied before to say going to a public event, concert, or a block party,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. Like,
Yeah.
do you have an outlet now at home that you can apply to kind of get the same dopamine spike, have the same amount of fun?
No, not really. I play the guitar, so I've been playing, and my family and I, we were thinking, you know what, people doing it, so why not we get a puzzle? Why don't we just get a cup puzzle? We just get a table, and we all just piece it together, piece by piece. And we might just do like more of a family night, like card games and watch a movie. So that's basically us.
That's awesome, though. It's like a time when you can reinvest in people that are close to you. Like, I haven't done a puzzle in probably more than 20 years, but I miss that, and I'd love to try a puzzle. That's great to get back to that.
I also want to do the whole TikTok thing, but my family's camera shy, so maybe I might jump into it. I don't know, but I have seen people going on there. My friend who is who loves to videotape herself, she's on there. She does an amazing job. I said, you know what? I wish I could do something like that. I'm just gonna soak it up and just do one video, see how it goes.
If you do, I'm going to edit this and have it out next week. If you do a TikTok between now and then, send it to me and I'll share it here. You'd be great on TikTok. I personally got on TikTok earlier this year when I was visiting with family, and my younger niece, she's a teenager, so she was into it, and I kind of got on there as a joke, but I get on there at least once a week now. It's fun.
Yeah, I've seen families doing it. It's like they're having themselves a good time. I mean, so what? They don't get that many hits, but they're still having a good time.
It's another way to engage too, and you already are engaging with your audience in so many different places. Each of these platforms is almost like changing the channel on how you communicate. They all kind of have a different flavor and tone to them. Yeah. So that's one thing I enjoy about Instagram to Facebook to TikTok is you can show a different side of yourself. It sounds like you and we're both locked down with family and stuff. My heart has been feeling for people who are either alone or they maybe had a roommate they don't care about too much. What are feel free to get as personal as you want, but what does it feel like to that dynamic, and how do you reach out to people who maybe don't have family with them?
Oh yeah, it's pretty tough because that either that one family member or friend or loved one, that was like a part of the person, and doesn't matter if you're young or old, that person will always be a part of you. And it's heartbreaking because all these people have either got sick or died. I mean, and the question becomes, what do you say? What do you do? Because I have family members that I lost before the epidemic. My last family member was my grandmother, And we were all very upset with that because she was like the rock of our family. I mean, yeah, she was a little bit of annoying calling us up all the time, but she was like the rock of the family. I was like, now what do we do? Yeah, but we have as a family started to connect with each other, contacting each other a little bit more. But it's just that, that's like a void of the family that we have to it takes time for us to heal because now that she's gone.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that really took it hard was my mom because they were very close. Yeah.
Was that recently?
No, 3 years ago.
Okay,
My grandmother from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah. And my heart breaks when I hear about people who have people passing now and they can't visit them in the hospital and you don't get that ability to be there with them.
Yeah. It's sad because, and I see the news, some people can't be close to their family members. They said, I'm sorry, if you don't have the virus, you cannot come in because they're afraid they might get it. So I've seen people with banners go outside the window saying, I love you, prayers up, I'll always be there for you. There's some people that even drive through and do the same thing for people that lives in the house. And what really touched me was the people in the senior homes. Some people, even strangers, they even went up with banners saying, we are all in this together. I'll keep my prayers for you, and so on and so forth. So that's very heartwarming. Yeah.
And people connect. Nevertheless, they find ways to do it. I'm staying in touch with family. I find that the video conferencing ways are better because you feel like you're getting more of a connection. So I've been using Facebook Messenger video and FaceTime and tools like that more than I had in the past. And if I can, connect with family and close friends that way, it's a heartening experience. How are you staying connected with people?
When it comes to my friends, it's mostly Facebook and Instagram, because we're the old generation now. But my cousins, they're like 5 all the way to 21. They're more into FaceTiming each other. So we either FaceTime on Instagram or, like you mentioned, Messenger, and that's just a way that we can connect with one another. Yeah.
That's great. And you mentioned puzzles. I'm trying to cook more now that I'm in the house more. Are you cooking or what are you doing?
Yeah, I am. My mom's teaching me because she's teaching me the old timeless recipes that really was a part of the family way before Google and definitely way before the cookbooks. She's just teaching me different tricks of the trades.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've been practicing the guitar, doing puzzles, learning the old recipes. Now, professionally, you are an excellent videographer, great at capturing field audio.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, so like the people out there who are just coming up, so maybe someone out there who's just picking up a camera or just starting to shoot on their cell phone. Do you have tips and tricks for not only how to shoot, but how to come up with great stories?
Well, I've been out and about. I have seen people with phones and mini cameras, and it kind of reminds me of me starting out. The advice I tell you is keep going. I mean, learn as much as you can. You can go to school, or you can go online. You can go online, go on social media sites like YouTube, teach you how to film, how to do lighting, audio, edit. And just take it from there. With journalism, you might have to do online training or go to college to learn more about journalism. That's the best advice for me to tell people about journalism. But when it comes to doing like a YouTube series, Instagram stories, there's videos on how to do that. But if you want to go more professional, definitely go to school. Go to school. Online classes, if you want to go more into the professional field.
You strike me as the kind of person that kind of chases your passion, meaning you get curious about something, you research it, and then you figure out a way to communicate that to others. Yeah. Do you think that's kind of an apt statement?
Well, when it comes to what I do, yes, you do need to research, because sometimes some of the information that you get on Google, it can be opinions. So it's best to get it off a college website, probably a college professor website. And when it comes to events, it's best to either connect with the event coordinator, talk to them about the event, see if it's new or it's been around for a long time, and get a little history about the event. And I was starting to interview musicians. I went to a couple, and I pretty much did the same thing. Talk to them, seeing what's your inspiration about creating a different type of music. What's their inspiration about the lyrics and the song? Just take it from there.
So you do your research. You say, you don't just look in the paper and say, oh, there's an event tomorrow and go. You think about it ahead of time.
I do.
Get the info you need.
Yeah, I make sure that the event is going on, because once in a while, sometimes it's canceled at the last minute. And make sure that this event is appealing to the audience as well, because there are some events that can be a little misleading, or maybe a little bit too much for the person in general. So that's the reason why I try to keep it on the safe side, more family friendly.
And and maybe if you show up with a camera and do your research, they don't let you shoot, or who knows?
Yeah, that's the thing. Because when it comes to events, I try to get in touch with the organizer or the coordinator, seeing if it's okay for me to shoot. Because some places, they just say flat out, no, you have to be a member of the press, or you have to be this big time news person from the newspaper. You have to have a lot of hits on YouTube, social media, in order to get into the event. So that's the reason why I've been going to like the events around town, probably, and some of the free events, because some people, they don't like to pay too much money. They like to stay on budget, which I don't blame them, because when you're out there on your own, you have to definitely take care of your own self.
And in this last month that we've been staying safer at home, what's something that you've learned about yourself or the world that kind of surprises you?
What I learned is that, enjoy life. I mean, I was ripping and running, making sure everything was perfect. The videos was up and running. But, I look back, I missed out on a lot of stuff. I should have just, spent time with the family, go out with my friends a lot more, enjoy stuff going on at like college, Cal State LA. So I said, you know what, Michael, you need to slow down and just enjoy life. Yeah.
I've heard that sentiment echoed by others, is like we're kind of forced into this new pace now where we're focusing on our inner life and our close to home life, and slowing down a little. And it seems like you share the sentiment with others that I've talked to, that that could be a good thing, that maybe this is a lesson we all kind of needed to practice. Yeah, we do. And another thing about the epidemic, the COVID-19 epidemic, people have been spending more time with family, which is a good thing, because some people, they are working late, they work long hours, they're spending more time with family. And like you mentioned earlier, they're going on Zoom, they're going on Facebook Messenger, Instagram Live, talking to people and just connecting with their family members and hang out with their friends. So that's another good thing that the people are doing. They're reconnecting. You said you're following Gavin Newsom's, the governor's reports and updates. What's a website you think people should check every day for updates? The one that he posted up. I don't have it with me right now, but he posted up every time he does an update. It's either in the middle or towards the end, and he gives people information on what to do when it comes to getting the financial aid that they need, or getting tested. So I recommend going there, because that's an official site. Great. Yeah, I'll have that link up here for where people can see kind of the state of California's updates and things like that. So people at home can see that, because you're absolutely right. There are, what I find is there's often resources available that aren't, there's no one with a bullhorn announcing it to everyone. So what you're doing is sharing with your audience, your friends, your neighbors, how to access these resources. And that's great. And that's what media should be doing. Is we are the bullhorn that the people need so that they can get access to these resources.
Yes.
How good is a food assistance or a rent assistance program if the person that needs it doesn't hear about it? One thing I've been asking people to do is share a kind of a tip for either a book they recommend, a TV show they recommend, a hobby, a website. There's a lot of great things going on that we can access in our homes, like a lot of museums are doing.
Like the virtual tours. Yes.
Free virtual stuff. Is there something like that you've checked out in the last week or so that you'd recommend to people?
I've read a couple of books. Where is it? And this one's always running, La Vida Loca Gang Days in LA. It pretty much talks about the author, Luis J. Rodriguez, what his life was like in the 1950s all the way to the 1980s during Los Angeles. And one thing I like about it is that it talks about the gentrification of Los Angeles during that time. There was like two waves. And it's pretty much talking about him from childhood to adulthood, that he kept running, going through different phases in life. He even joined a couple of gang members, but when he got older, he realized that, you know what, it's time to grow up, wise up, and take his day one day at a time. So that's the reason why I like this book. The next one that I'm starting to read is a little bit messy. Sorry about the mess. I'm going to cover it up.
That's okay.
It's called Catherine Todd Staying Cool. So, I read this a while back and I picked it up, and it's pretty much saying that, you know what, even though you're getting older, it doesn't mean you can pretty much quit. I mean, just go out, enjoy yourself, even though if you're 30 plus. So,
that's great. I love how the first book is local.
Yeah.
Right? Luis Rodriguez, you said?
Yeah, Luis J. Rodriguez. Yeah, that's one.
And the second book you chose kind of speaks to our times.
Yeah, Catherine Todd. Yeah, Staying Cool. When you're too old to be a valley girl and too young for sensible shoes. That's what I like about this book.
Right, cool. Yeah. Anything else you want to share with the people?
People, I just want to say, just take one day at a time. I know we're all eager to go back to work. We're all eager to start over, but things will be different, and it's going to take one day at a time. So that's why it means to you. And if you're stressed, talk to somebody. Talk to your family member. Talk to the person that you trust, that you love, and we'll all get through it one day at a time. So that's my advice.
Great. Thank you so much for talking to me today, Monica. And I recommend everyone goes to your website, watch your YouTube videos.
All right,
thank you for doing what you're doing to keep the community informed.